Welcome back, guys. We've got some screenshots for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and also we've got a new screenshot, possibly for the artwork for the book. We're not sure if it's just for the regular retail price game or for the deluxe. Could be both. We don't really know. Possibly have to find out when we order it. But we have the box art and we've got some new screenshots. So just wanted to go through some of them. Here we've got Tifa in one of her classic little stances here. Not sure exactly to what effect that has. I know it has something to do with her down on her commands. Possibly with, as she strings together regular attacks and combos, that she has other special abilities like we've seen from Cloud. One thing I did notice, obviously this is where they're in the sewer fighting apps. This arm here seems to have her weapon, whatever weapon it might be that she's got equipped, because I've noticed up here she's got what appears to be her bangle, and I can't remember, it's not an iron bangle. I think iron bangles would start the game with, it has no materia slot. She's got something, I can't remember now for the life of me exactly what you would have near this point. Of course it could have changed with the remake, but it appears she has two materia slotted into it. The green obviously is a magic of some sort, but the yellow one interests me because some people have said, oh, it's the sense materia, and other people say it's the steel materia. I guess it could be either or, because I think you get steel right before this fight happens. Like in the original game, it was exactly right before it happened. Like you picked it up and then you got attacked. But, that could have changed, could have got it right before with the 3D, the 3D exploration and environment. So, and obviously Tifa and Cloud and Aerith. Yes, I said Aerith. I refused. I don't know what that word is. I'm not going to say it. Then the party. All in all, looks good. All right. Looks like in one of the factories, there's one of the sweepers. And obviously Cloud has summoned Ifrit, if you can't tell by this big flaming demon right here. Ifrit looks good. Like, they really took some time with his render and just drawn out what his evil. He just looks evil. Of course, what giant fire demon doesn't, right? Yeah, no, he looks good. There's not much I can say beyond that, aside from the fact that the way that we've seen summons looks like they're going to be a more close-up and personal approach when you're in combat, which is always nice. I'm not totally against that. Alright, here we got Barrett. I particularly like this picture, mainly because, for one, he's showing off one of his special moves. But the lighting that they're using, it's lighting up so much you can see through Barrett's sunglasses, his eyes, and his whole outfit is lit up enough to where you can see the detail. His dog tags are hanging down, the fibers in his torn vest. The hair on his arm, right there, And of course, anybody with a machine gun strapped to their arm, well, there's not much I can say about that. Seems like they're down in the tunnelway somewhere because, there's the webbing from that one enemy, the one that spins silk webs or spits silk, whatever you want to call them. There seems to be some disgusting alien 2 looking like xenomorph pods in the background. And yeah, but all in all, I really like it. Okay. Here we got a picture of the slums. I've seen people, they were talking about this, especially like right here, it shows, the item shop. It says, only the best items, today's special, high potion. That's got a lot of people wondering from previous rumors that if it's going to have a day and night cycle. And yeah, and I'm like, well, I guess it could. Or it could just be for whenever you visit the shop at certain times, it could change. We don't really know. And I don't know. To me personally, I don't know if having a day and night cycle would be good. Because it would seem to me, it does make it a little more realistic, but yet at the same time, it's kind of pulling me out of the urgency of the game. Final Fantasy VIII was notorious for that. You got the music going, there's a mission on hand, everybody's ready, and then you go to talk to this one guy and he's like, oh, hey, you want to play cards? It's like, oh yeah, sure, I got a minute. And you sit and prepare to play a card game, I don't know, it's just one of those things. It pulls me out of the immersiveness of the environment, I guess. But I mean, it looks really good. It looks like a slum from a semi highly advanced, from a futuristic or modern setting, I guess. Another thing that a lot of people were cool they didn't think about was the rats. Right there. There's Chico and Soiree right there. That's them. I don't know their names. I really don't. But everyone was like, oh, they're putting rats in it. I was like, well, what would you expect to be in a slum? More than likely rats. But that's pretty neat. Detail on that was fantastic. Here's in the train graveyard, just before they go up to the pillar right before the plate falls. You get a shot of Eris. Eris appears to be like a white mage because of her abilities, and she attacks at a distance. And another thing, you can see right here, she's got a materia slotted into her weapon. There's one. There's a hole for another one. And she appears to be casting, I want to say ice, because at first glance it looks like it, but then there's cogs. So that tells me that it's some kind of time magic. Whether stop, I would assume like stop or slow. Because why would you haste your enemy? It makes no sense. So that's another thing too, because you don't get the time materia until sometime later, I believe. So that's interesting. But yeah, all in all, in Eris's model, she looks really good. The command, the command menu, and of course it looks super slick. And you can see, Midgar in the background. Really nice. There's Ifrit. Not much on this one, but Ifrit doing his thing, part of one of his Hellfire attack. Lot of physics, a lot of damage here. Looked really good, especially when he exits the battlefield. All right, now here's one. This is the one that really got me the most. Was the screen in the menu, or it was info of the materia. And in here we can see, it shows Cloud with his Buster Sword. He's got the Iron Bangle on and a power wrist guards equipped. And then it shows the materia. It's the elemental materia. It shows it has stars for levels, just like in the old game, and AP to level it up. Down here it shows the attributes, level, HP, the MP, very, very similar to, the original Final Fantasy VII. And the materia, again, where it shows on the weapons and the armor, very similar, just high def and more colorful is about the only difference. The one difference here, though, is the summon materia. I guess what we know now is that only one summon materia can be equipped to a party member at a time. And they no longer use MP, and they have a gauge of some sort that either charges and, you know, decreases when they're used. We know that now, and obviously the low MP count kind of shows that too, because you don't get summons until after you leave Midgar. In the first game, you got Chocobo Mog, you know, from the Chocobo farm, from Choco Billy, or Billy, I think it was. And Ifrit, you didn't even get till you got on the boat leaving Junon, or Juno. There's too many spellings. You know, going to Costa del Sol, when you were going over, you know, then Gold Saucer and, you know, Cosmo Canyon on then. So you didn't even get Ifrit. You know, you got what? Let's see, you had Chocobo Mog. You at least had Ifrit, Shiva, and Rama. Because Rama was from the Gold Saucer when you had to get out of the prison. But, so it's looking like we're going to get stuff a lot sooner. And again, the elemental materia is equipped with what appears to be ice, because we have these little ice crystals and stuff for that is floating around Cloud's sword in the info, and it shows down here, it says the weapon for a star level of 1, 2, and 3 adds 2% linked elemental damage, but it also tells what you have if you'd have it linked on the armor. And this is something I was really liking. The first level, it has linked elemental damage. Second, it prevents linked elemental damage. And then third, it absorbs the linked elemental damage. So that was really cool, because it scales. It's like, well, you're just immune to it. It was like, well, immune is fine, but if you absorb it into HP or MP or whatnot, that's just even better. You know. And Cloud has a purple materia on his armor slot here. And I'm pretty sure you didn't get purple materia until way later in the game. So again, that's going to be something that's different overall. You know, the placement of materia, where that's going to be one of the biggest changes to the game, I think. Aside from, you know, the high definition graphics, you know, the certain aspects of the story and characters having more dialogue. So that's like people they're mad. If they're mad because this game is not exactly like the original, that's okay, because we have a game for them to play. It's the original that came out back in 1997, and you can play it on PlayStation. You can play it on PS2, and you can get it on the PlayStation Network, and you're good to go. But the remake is going to be one of those, it's so close to the original, but yet because of the way that they're telling, or I guess in this sense, retelling the story, they're going to have to change a few things. They're going to add some stuff, you know, while staying as true as possible to the material. Because there's no doubt that the PlayStation 1 had hardware limitations, even though the spectacle that it was back in the day. But the PS4 is, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the game is running with the Unreal Engine 4. Not for sure, but if it is, it's one of the most, the Unreal Engine is just ridiculous. The amount of detail and texture and, you know, just physics that it can correlate. If you don't believe me, just check out some of the Gears of War games. The Gears of War games run on it, and it just runs perfect. But yeah, so we got to find out a lot more about materia, which was one of my biggest concerns. I was a little iffy. I was like, I want to know. I need to know more. And then we got this screenshot, which told us pretty much about what I need to know. I mean, of course, I would like to know more, but this seems to be a good start. Oh yeah, we got a picture of Tifa's Bar, 7th Heaven, down there in the Sector 7 slums. And it looks like a bar in the slums. You know, I mean, it's got 2 stories. It looks like a brick, almost like a factory type building for something or another. For the way, you know, like these beams that are crossed, you know, and it's got these pipes coming in and out of it, almost like it, you know, was a Mako facility. Probably it might have been like an early Mako facility back in the day, and now it's just an old building that, you know, that's been inhabited, you know, with the people, the slums that are too poor to live on the upper plate. But all in all, yeah, it looks good. Here's a close-up of Barrett. Again, another, like I said, like you can see his chest hair. It's just right there. And the fabric, the detail on the fabric of his clothing, the right where his arms, the ripped fraying tassels. You can see the embroidery. It's just ridiculous, the amount of detail they've got in on this. And I think Maximilian Dude said it best. He said that, you know, between that and 3 or 4 years, you know, they were saying nothing. They weren't putting anything out. He's like, they were working their butts off. They were just literally locked at. They were probably ransomed and withheld from their families, sitting at their computers all day and night, just working, rendering and putting detail and you know, getting models here and there, script events. So, you know, it's pretty impressive how much detail they've got into it now. And I mean, we've still got, what, 7 months, 6 months? It's almost October. So we've got, you know, anywhere from 5, 6, 7 months, depending on the time frame, to go. So, I mean, they've still got plenty of time for polish and storied events and you know, just whatever. But aside from that, I mean, this whole picture again, look at the hair. You get his definite, it's almost like a high-end tight. But you can definitely tell the type of haircut and just the way that his hair goes and his beard. He's a little scraggly, but not really. So again, it's all good. Here's the picture of Cloud. We saw that at the end of the last trailer they dropped at us. This one shows a lot of detail in Cloud's face and his hair. I don't know. He's shown with this earring right here, and I don't remember in any of the screenshots, the videos, or the trailers previous to this that he actually had an earring at all. So I don't know if something happened in between then and then that he got it, or he's always had it and they just never put it in. I don't know. It was just something that stuck out. It's like right there. It's almost like a zit or a mole. And my eyeballs just go right to it. But yeah, he's got the stoic, like, I don't care look, and, you know, this stupid spiky blonde hair, which, you know, defies the laws of physics, but that's okay. He's been infused with Mako. Cut him some slack. His pauldron with the bolts, always like that. He's got, like, bolts sticking out with nuts screwed onto them, and I was like, that's acceptable armor for a first-class soldier, so... This one we got a full shot of Tifa, and you know, at the bar, I mean, there's what appears to be a menu. There's a, you know, glass. I think that's a book, some bottles and canisters, or those are trays apparently, and that looks like a radio or like a VHS player. It looks like a VHS. I think he's stupid. There we go. Looks like a VHS tape playing right there. But yeah. Tifa looks great, as I knew she would. Everyone online was throwing a fit about her. All this and that. She looks fine. There's nothing wrong here. They've got her eye color right. It looks good. Again, another one. I think they said this, the way that it looked like they were in the Shinra building after they get caught when she's talking to him. Then other people were saying this is still in her bar, and they've changed the location. That, like, when they had their discussion before you go after the next reactor. But I can't really tell one way or another. So the best way to do it is to wait till the game comes out. I'll play it, and then I'll know for sure. But yeah, again, like, you can see the detail, like in her suspenders, the stitching, even her shirt right here, like the neckline, super detailed. Of course, in her eyes, they're doing a lot of with the eyes and the facial features. Good stuff. And here it is, the last one, guys. They recreated the basic cover for the original game. They took pretty much the same screenshot from the remake graphics and whatnot, and they fashioned it to look exactly like the 1997 release back in the day. And I guess there's been people online talking, they're freaking out and flipping out, and they're just like, yeah, it's amazing. I was like, oh yeah, it's great and all, but I mean, again, it's just a cover, and it looks great though. I'm not saying that it's not worthy, but you know, it's a cover. Got the PS4 logo. I'm not for sure if this is like entirely what it's supposed to look like, but I'm fairly certain that this is the cover picture. Now, for the $60 game, I'm not for sure, and for the deluxe, I am not for sure either. It's hard to say. But as time goes on, we'll get more details, and we'll start to unravel that mystery later. Looks like Cloud either has materia in there, or it's reflecting of the light. It does almost look identical. And then, of course, it's got Final Fantasy VII Remake. I heard that there were people mad because it didn't have a Part 1, like down here somewhere or in the title, and I'm like, well, who actually cares? It's like, it has a Part 1? I don't care. I'm sure Matt doesn't care, because I don't care. We already know that it's going to be Part 1. It's a 2-disc game, and whenever they come out with the other parts, well, that'll be it. Then we'll know. I don't understand. Maybe they'll put it on the spine. They can put it off to the, so when you have it on your shelf, you can determine which one you want. I don't know. But anyways, guys, those are the screenshots that we got. Like I said, a lot of them, they're screenshots, and they look really good. They show just enough of how much detail and how much time that they're taking with this game. And hopefully here within the next at least 6 months, we'll be able to experience it. We'll get to, when we get it into our hands, our little nerd, grubby hands, that we'll be able to experience that for ourselves. Anyways, guys, this is Jake with RPG Weekly. Hope you like this. We've got some more content getting ready to come out. I've got Matt feverishly uploading stuff, because it's what I do. And he loves it. He loves to hear from me about where my videos are at. So, anyways, guys, we're going to catch you on the next time. But make sure to also to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.